upset with me over it. Our family went to visit my in-laws over New Year's. It's about a 3 to 4 hour drive, mostly highway, but it takes us through 2 metro areas with pretty significant traffic. My wife, 37 female, gets nervous about driving in traffic, so I always drive when we visit her family. She also tends to get car sick on longer drives. Okay, the back seat is not the place for a car sick person. So she needs to sit in the front seat to help ease it. She has tried taking Dramamine in the past, but she had an allergic reaction to it, so she doesn't take it anymore. I love my wife with all my heart, but she is not good at sitting shotgun. She makes huge reactions in any traffic, grabbing the handle, gasping, putting her hand on the dash, and gasping, telling me watch out. It's not like I'm an aggressive or risky driver. I've never gotten a speeding ticket or been in an accident. If there's a car a half mile ahead of us that puts on their brakes, she freaks out and acts like we're all about to die. It's incredibly distracting. I've talked to her multiple times about how her reactions actually make it more difficult for me to concentrate on driving, but she says she can't control herself because she's nervous in traffic. I think you guys need something stronger than Dramamine for this one. Lots of slowdowns due to weather conditions and in general just kind of slow going, but I've been driving in cold weather my whole life and know how to control my speed and give lots of extra space to any surrounding cars. I understand you can't control anyone else on the road, that accidents happen, but I do everything in my control to keep my car and the people inside safe. The entire drive, my wife was on edge, making all the reactions I mentioned. Very distracting to have someone next to you doing that sort of thing while driving. We're getting ready to head home. I told my wife she needs to sit in the back and her 14-year-old son will sit up front with me. I told her it's either that or she's driving us home. She got upset with me and started giving excuses about her car sickness. Okay, those aren't excuses. Those are legit because I'm a car sick person. But then drive. And I'll shut up. I told her to take some NyQuil or something else to help her sleep, but she refused and told me I'm being a jerk. I told her that she could drive, and she refused that. Eventually, she reluctantly got in the back seat with our 11-year-old daughter. The ride home was much easier traffic-wise, and my wife sat pretty much silent in the back seat the entire time. We got home, and she told me that she felt ill the entire drive, but didn't say anything because she didn't want to make a big deal out of anything. She told me I humiliated her by making her sit in the back. Wait, who are you humiliated in front of the kids? The kids? I've never been humiliated in front of my kids. I don't get that feeling in front of my kids. Wait till those kids start driving. Oh Lord, wait till those kids start driving. And there's a 14-year-old, so that's gonna be in like a year or two. There's a quote somebody put, your feelings matter, but you proved on the way home you can control your actions, which is what I'm asking you to do. My request is not about feelings, but actions which make us unsafe. Ma'am, you are the chaos. Ma'am, you are the potential crash. I had to add because people seem a little unclear. Delivery on this one does matter. You can't just state it coldly and expect it to help. It has come from a place of love and concern. I can't agree more. My husband was primary driver until he got too sick to drive. Finally convinced him that yelling at me wasn't going to improve my driving. Don't these people remember having like a parent in the seat that's like shouting at them? I mean, I did my best. I'm not a good teacher of driving. I'm a good modeler of driving, but I'm not a good teacher of driving. I did my best, but like, I'm at least gonna say and that's during instruction. You don't have to instruct a 38-year-old how to drive unless they're driving like an a-hole, you know? Yeah, I think it was fine. Honestly, I would have asked her one more time. I'm like, look, I can't do that again. I can't experience I'm not doing that again. So you can sit in the passenger seat silently and calmly, because I know you get sick, but when you get like that, I'm gonna pull over and get out of the car and let you have the driver's seat. Not the a-hole. She proved that she can control herself herself it's a Christmas miracle. Also proof she could do a 3 to 4 hour car ride in the back without getting car sick. That doesn't mean she wasn't car sick. And then the comment is, most people can handle getting car sick without actually vomiting. That proves nothing. I get insanely car sick to the point where I'm dizzy and can't eat after a long drive, but even as a child, I almost never puked. If you think sitting quietly doesn't mean sick, you don't know what real motion sickness can be like, and it's awful. I've had minor issues with car sickness my whole life, but mostly just feeling slightly nauseous, never vomited. And what sucks is it doesn't always get better when you get out of the car. If you're enduring it for too long, you're going to be sick after you get out of the car for like hours to a whole day. Okay. Let's find one with a lot. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter's dad she isn't going to his wedding because of the way I found out about it? Female 26 broke up with my ex-daughter. My ex, or my daughter's dad, 25 male. 3 years ago, we were together for 5 years, had our daughter, a 6-year-old female, and after 2 years together. Good co-parenting, and don't really talk about anything outside of the child. He's been dating a fiance, 25 female, for 3 years. He didn't tell me about dating her. My 3-year-old did. At the time, the kid was 3, I guess. Okay. Things changed. The fiance announced their engagement. I only knew because I saw it on her social media. She and I have been friends on social media for over 10 years, but ex and I aren't friends. Right before this, he told me that he could not financially support his daughter for a while. He pays child support, but we've never gone to court. He told me it was because he was moving into a new job. Always do it. I don't care how much y'all get along. Set the amount through some kind of system. Word taking now. He told me it was because he was moving into a new job field. I said, great and fine. Listen, no good deed goes unpunished. Days later, I opened my social app to see an expensive-looking ring. I was annoyed, but things were civil, so I said nothing. Fast forward a month later, his mom texted me to say she would take our child on his days, but not all of his days. So he's not even seeing his kid. His mom is doing his days. He texts me after to say that he's busy. It's less than 24 hours before he was supposed to have her, so I figured something must have come up. I made arrangements to be home instead. It was only until a few days later that I started seeing vacation photos on his fiance's Facebook. Ooh, this is what they do. Next was word vomit. When his next time to have our daughter came, I let him have it. I told him he could have let me know in advance he was going out of town and that he waited until 20. You have a vacation plan. There's tickets involved. There's planning involved, but you wait until like the night before to be like, oh, I can't take her. Sorry. Something came up. Emergency. Told me in advance that he was going out of town and that he had to have known for weeks, and how disrespectful he used his mom to communicate instead of coming to me. I said it's a pattern. He also didn't tell me about his plan to marry, and that involves our daughter. His response: his fiance wasn't getting legal rights to our daughter. Why did it matter? I asked, is it important for your daughter to gain a stepmom? Is it important that you tell me about important things that's going on in my daughter's life? The conversation really went nowhere, and his fiance then blocked me, which spoke volumes. Not only do you think you should have found out like this, you shouldn't have found out at all. So she should just never know that her daughter has a full-on stepmom. Okay. In the end, I told him our daughter wouldn't attend his wedding. I mean, I would still let the kid go to the wedding. Because whatever, y'all are nothing to me. Congratulations. But trash. As far as she knows, the reason she isn't going to the wedding is because we have a trip planned for that day, and they don't even have a set wedding date because they're due with a new child now. I've raised our daughter almost solely, even when he and I were together. I've been there for all of her important events. I fear he'll go behind my back, and I'll miss seeing her at her first wedding. Let go of that. Let go of that, okay? It ain't worth you getting your stomach in knots over it. That's just not your business. And there's gonna be some things, some firsts that get experienced over there. He ain't shit. But let her go. Be the flower girl. I would not be able to help her dress, do her hair, or see her walk down the aisle, which meant a great deal to me to be witness to. Oh well. You gotta let go of some of that, ma'am. Please tell me, am I the a-hole? My friends tell me I'm not, but everyone else says that I'm being selfish and punishing them for no reason. It's not about them. It's about the kid getting to go to a fancy wedding for her dad. For her dad. So let's see what the comments are. I mean, I think he's the real a-hole, but she's the a-hole for not letting the kid go. You're the a-hole to your daughter for not letting that a-hole, for letting that a-hole get out of paying child support. Yeah, don't do it. Don't. I mean, that's a whole thing. I tried. My kid's dad put he worked harder at not paying child support than he did work, period. His main goal in life, his main motivation in life was to avoid paying child support. They need to go to court and get an official order, especially with the new baby coming. That's true. That's true. If he prioritizes an engagement ring over his child, he certainly isn't going to be more responsible with the new baby. File before he gets hit with reality. Also bought a vacation whilst claiming he could not afford child support. So a lot of these comments are child support related. 100% this, it should be illegal for people to forego child support, and if you don't have a court order on visitation, etc., then what are you even doing? She's just taking his word for it, but we see that he ain't shit, so you're the a-hole for not going to court and getting child support. Ash, he sucks for being a shitty dad and co-parent, and you suck for putting yourself and your feelings ahead of what's best for your daughter. Go to court, make things legal, and make decisions that you can justify to your daughter in the future. Your daughter will find out one day if you're the reason that she wasn't at the wedding. Okay, let me insert how much it costs to go to court. Telling people to just get a lawyer and just go to court is crazy, because you gotta scrounge up at least $5,000 out of, and if you're scraping, because this dude also isn't, it's not that simple. They do have like state, I would say go through the state ones and do it that way, especially if they weren't married. Because I think if you were married, you can't. I don't know. I don't remember. I did the state one, but they without a lawyer, they weren't pushing it. They were not pushing it. So who knows if she's gonna get anything? You could get a under the table job, or somebody said the daughter can just go to his next wedding. This is not the end of his weddings. What do y'all think? Look, co-parenting is a bitch. Co-parenting probably isn't. It's anti-parenting when there's one or both people involved in just completely sabotaging every aspect of parenting. That's not co-parenting. That's anti-parenting. Co-parenting is a bitch. Take it to court, get an actual child support order, and stop messing around. That said, you're the a-hole if you prevent your daughter from attending her father's wedding just because you're feeling pissy. That's what I'm thinking. Oops. I keep messing this up. Okay, let's find another one that has kind of a lot of reactions. Am I the ill for not eating $200 worth of food? I, 23 female, was visiting boyfriend 23 male and his family in their state. On the last day there, my boyfriend said he wanted to take his family and I out to dinner. He chose a restaurant, which is a place he loves, and invited 5 of his family members. We went to a restaurant where you pay for all you could eat, barbecue and sushi. I'm not a big fan of red meats, but will eat them occasionally. I tend to stick to chicken and seafood and do not eat pork. You cook the meats there yourself, and my boyfriend ordered a lot of pork and beef for us. Thanks. I ordered myself chicken, shrimp, and rice and veggies. I ate all of my food and made sure not to bite off more than I could chew. They charge you extra for whatever you don't eat. I've been to places like that. It's kind of weird. Boyfriend offered me beef, and I had some of that, but when he offered me hesitated but gave me a stern look, and I felt forced to eat a small slice. Bitch. Don't embarrass yourself in this restaurant. You're gonna make me eat something I don't eat like I'm a little freaking child. He even tried to give me more pork and trick me into thinking it was a chicken thigh. This dude. I said, no, I'm full. Well, after that, my boyfriend's mood shifted towards me, and I could tell he was angry. At the dinner in the car, he was upset that he spent $200 on food, and all I ate was 3 pieces of chicken. And barely touched the beef or pork. Duh, I don't eat it. What are you talking about? He said I was being ungrateful, but I think not. He chose the place. He invited 6 people total, not including himself, so obviously the bill will be high. He ordered all the pork and beef. I ate all of my food. Am I the a-hole? Why are you even asking this? This guy's a creep. You can't, how can you type all that up and still ask yourself if you're the a-hole? He's getting in here, ain't he? He gave me a stern look. Girl, what? This cannot be the first time he has tried to force you to do shit you don't want to do. And it won't be the last. Sure did fall in line fast. If my spouse were to give me a stern look, they would not get a non-compliant look back. Unless it's an agreed upon look. Sometimes we signal each other like, let's get out of here. That thing. It eats the meat and the skin, or it gets the look again. A lot of people, especially women, will take the polite route and not make a scene, and she was with his family. So she's probably like, but that's how you know you need to get out, because if I saw my son doing that, or my nephew doing that, I would intervene. But the fact that everybody's compliant while he's forcing you to eat stuff that you don't eat, get out. Get out. There's a whole lot of mess going on over there. Obie should make a scene. This isn't going to get better for her. She's already trained to obey with just a stern glance. All I do is give her the stern glance and she does whatever I want. I'm definitely not married to a woman like that, and nor would I want to be. Right, a stern look would get the eyebrow in return, and he better get the back in his own lane. You need to reconsider this guy. Do you really want to be with someone that controls your food? This is bad. That's worse than even it sounds. I know that. I just feel like I know the path that's going down, and it's gonna be. Alright, let's do one more. Am I the a-hole for not warning my diabetic friend about our trip? My friend, sister, and I went to a major city near us for my birthday where, yes, there are buses and subway, but usually it's still better to walk if it's not across the city. Invited this friend to a free trip to a museum and explicitly told her we'd be leaving around 9:30, arriving at the city at 11, leaving at 5:30, and getting home at 7. At the beginning of the day, I make sure to tell her I have extra snacks in case she needs to fix her blood sugars, with both fast and long-acting carbs. She also has some trouble with a leg injury, but my sister has a pretty bad one that flares up, and I have a minor one, so I figured she would be comfortable telling us if she needed to stop. We finished at the museum about 2 hours to spare, not helped by the fact that we skipped a floor because I wasn't super interested in the stuff, and she definitely wasn't. My sister and I say we should walk around the city since there's some cool stuff nearby. She doesn't protest. And I had been sitting down for a bit previously because she was bored of the exhibit we were in, so we end up walking, taking the subway around every time we are near a mall. And even as we are walking around, we are checking in with her to see if she needs food. I would buy her a smoothie and a bagel. Though that isn't because she says she needs food, it's because my sister wanted to stop at blah blah blah. Okay, shut up and talk. Basically she's pissed at me because I didn't warn her. Oh wait, she had a headphone in all day, so we hadn't known anything about when or if she was having blood sugar problems. But she's pissed at me because I didn't warn her we'd be walking around so much. It's the city. And hadn't adequately warned her and prepared her for the change of plans. I argued that we literally made the plans of walking around for a bit right in front of her, and that she could have said something. As well as the fact that even if we had gone around the city, blah blah blah. Anyways, am I the a-hole for not properly warning my friend about this trip and making her feel defenseless? She's a type 1 diabetic and has been for 6 years. Not the a-hole first. It sounds like you did warn her. Second of all, she's diabetic. I pack snacks appropriate for the potential cases. I'd never rely on information of others and plan ahead for myself. Yeah, my oldest son is a type 1. And it sucks. It sucks. But you cannot count on friends to manage your health or to know when you need to step away or what you can or can't manage. That said, if you're managing your blood sugars, you can still walk around just like any normal person. Add to that, OB even said they packed snacks for her, and since they're in a big city for this trip, there was food every couple of blocks. Sound like the friend just wants to be the center of attention, find a problem with anything and everything. I hate that kind of, I don't have that kind of, but I know that kind of a person, and I hate that kind of a person. She basically argues that although she was prepared for the day, she hadn't known that we were going to be walking around in the city, and is largely upset that I didn't pay attention to the fact of how serious the change of plans could have been for her. I don't like a change of plans either, but this sounds like less of a diabetes problem and more like a princess attitude. My wife is a type 1 diabetic. We spend all day walking around. Whenever we visit a new walkable city, we don't carry snacks. There's always food and drink in a nearby in the city. It's easier to grab something from a shop and carry it around the extra food. Yeah, it is easier to just step into somewhere and grab it. But, finance-wise, you might